Sits by the fireside one evening after dinner. There's a knock on the door. Poole, Jekyll's butler, enters.
Bless me, Poole. What brings you here? What's wrong with you?
Mr. Utterson, there's something wrong.
Take a seat and have a glass of wine. Now, what is the matter?
You know how Jekyll is, sir. How he shuts himself up in the cabinet? I don't like it, sir. I swear on my life, I don't like it. Truthfully, Mr. Utterson, I'm afraid.
What exactly are you afraid of?
Utterson sits by the fireside one evening after dinner. There's a knock on the door. Poole, Jekyll's butler, enters.
I've been afraid for about a week, and I can bear it no more.
Come now, Poole. Obviously something is wrong. Try and tell me what it is.
I think there has been foul play.
Foul play? What foul play? What has the man done?
I don't want to say, sir, but will you come along with me and see for yourself?
You can tell that Poole is terrified and notes that the butler can't even look at him in the face. Poole is sitting quietly, not drinking his wine, looking directly at the floor.
Well, here we are. God grant there be nothing wrong.
Amen, Poole.
He rises out of his chair and dresses to go out. Poole looks relieved. The weather outside is cool, with the moon high in the sky and the wind whipping through the streets. The streets are deserted. Utterson and Poole walk to Jekyll's house.
Is that you, Poole?
It's all right. Open the door.
On the door, and the servant cracks the door open.
God bless, it's Mr. Utterson.
Why are you all here? Your master wouldn't be happy to see you not working.
They're all afraid.
Follows, and the maid beacons feebly.
Hold your tongue. Now, give me a candle and we will give Mr. Utterson a look.
Poole gestures for Utterson to follow him through the garden.
Now, Utterson, please walk gently and quietly. I want you to hear, but not be heard. If by chance he asks you to go in, don't go.
He's nervous as they walk into the laboratory, which is cluttered with crates and bottles thrown about the floor. They come to the door of the cabinet and Poole motions for Utterson to stop. Poole sets down the candle and knocks on the door. Poole leads Utterson to the back of the house.
Mr. Utterson is here to see you, sir.
Tell him I cannot see anyone.
Thank you, sir.
Poole pulls a note out of his pocket and hands it to Utterson. The lawyer examines the note, which says, Dear Mr. Maughan, Jekyll assures you that your last sample is impure and quite useless for his present purposes. Last year, Jekyll purchased a somewhat large amount of this chemical from Mr. Maughan. He now begs you to search with the most sedulous care to see if any of that sample is left and to have it sent to him. This is very important to Dr. Jekyll. For God's sake, find me some of the old.
Sir, was that Jekyll's voice?
It seems much changed.
Changed? Well, yes, I think so. I've worked here 20 years. I know Jekyll's voice. That was not his voice. My master disappeared 8 days ago. That was the last time we heard him. He cried out to God. Now the question is, who is in there instead of him and why he stays in there? It cries out to heaven, Mr. Utterson.
This is a very strange tale, Poole. A very wild tale. What if it is what you say? Suppose Jekyll has been murdered. Why would the murder stay? It doesn't make any sense.
Mr. Utterson, you are a hard man to satisfy, but I can do it. I can do it. Last week, whoever is in that cabinet has been crying night and day for some sort of medicine. Jekyll would write his orders for chemicals on a sheet of paper and throw it on the stairs. We had papers bought back all week. Nothing but papers and a closed door. He smuggled his meals in when we weren't looking. Now, every day. Sometimes twice or 3 times in the same day. I haven't been sent flying to all. The whole wholesale chemist in town trying to find this drug. It's wanted bad, sir. But for what? I have no idea.
Do you have one of these papers?
He swings the axe and attempts to break down the door. After 5 blows, the door finally falls inward. Utterson and Poole peer into the cabinet. They see a glowing fire, a drawer open on the desk, with papers neatly set out, and a tea set ready for pouring. There were several chemicals, presses lying about. In the middle of the room lay the body of a man, contorted and still twitching. Utterson and Poole approached the body and coming over to reveal time. He was dressed in Jekyll's clothes, which were too large for him, and his face still twitched, though life was quite gone. In his hand is a crushed vial. Anyone could tell that this man is a self-destroyer.
Dear Mr. Maw, Jekyll assures you that your last sample is impure and quite useless for its present purposes. Last year, Jekyll purchased a somewhat large amount of this chemical from Mr. Maw. He now begs you to search with the most sedulous care to see if any of the sample is left and to have it sent to him. This is very important to Dr. Jekyll. For God's sake, find me some of the old.
This is a strange note. Why do you have it?
The man at Maw's shop was very angry, sir, and he threw the note back at me like it was dirt.
Is this the doctor's handwriting?
I think so, but that doesn't matter. I've seen this man.
Seen him? Tell me.
I was in the garden when he apparently had slipped out to look for this drug or whatever it is. I saw him digging through the crates. He looked at me, gave a cry, and then whipped up the stairs to the cabinet. I only saw him for a minute, but it stood the hair up on my head like quills on a porcupine. He looked as if he had a mask over his face, and why would my master cry like a rat and run from me? And then...
Strange, but I think I'm beginning to figure this out. Jekyll must have one of those diseases that deform you. That's why his voice and face changed. I bet he's looking for a cure to this disease, and that's why he wants this drug. I hope he can find it. That's my explanation, Poole. It's sad, but plain and natural. There's no reason to be alarmed.
Sir, that thing in there is not my master. My master is tall. This guy is more of a dwarf. I know my master after 20 years. That thing is not Dr. Jekyll. God knows what it is, but it's not Jekyll. I believe in my heart that murder was done.
Poole, if you believe that, then we will have to make sure. I think we should break in that door.
Ah, Mr. Utterson, that's talking.
But who's going to do it?
You and me. There's an axe in the theater, and you can take the kitchen poker for yourself.
Poole, we may be in danger when we do this, so let's tell the truth. This person you think you saw, did you recognize him?
Well, it was a quick glance, so I can't swear to it, but if you're asking if it was Hyde, then yes, I think it was. And I know he still has a key, and I got a chill down my spine when I saw him. It's got to be him.
I'm afraid I think it's him too. I believe Jekyll has been killed and his murderer is still lurking in the room, though I don't know why.
Utterson searched the cabinet for Jekyll's body, but finds nothing. Poole thinks he may be buried beneath the floor, but Utterson thinks he may have left. However, they find the key to the door lying smashed and rusted on the floor. They are both stumped about Jekyll's whereabouts. They begin looking at the chemicals in the cabinet, especially a white salt heaped on several glass saucers.
It walks like that all day, sir. Only when a new sample from the chemist arrives does it stop for a moment. I think it's because of this heavy conscience. Listen to it. It's too heavy to be Jekyll's footstep, and it cries sometimes too. Weeping like a woman or a lost soul, a horribly sad sound.
Jekyll, I demand to see you. I'm warning you. We are worried, and I must see you now. If you won't open the door, I will with brute force.
Utterson, for God's sake, have mercy.
Aha! That is not Jekyll's voice. It is Hyde's. Down with the door, Poole.
He was surprised to find that Jekyll had written blasphemies in margin. They found later and wondered why Jekyll knew. Next, they looked at Jekyll's desk. On top of his papers was a large envelope with the name of Utterson written on the outside. Utterson opened it, and 3 enclosures fell out. The first was a will, with the same odd terms as the first, except that in the place of Edward Hyde's name was the name of Gabriel John Utterson. Utterson is shocked.
We have come too late. Hyde is gone and on his own doings, and now all we can do is find the body of your master.
That was the jug I was always bringing him.
This is crazy. If Hyde had known this, he would have destroyed it. Poole, Jekyll was alive. Look at the date on the letter. He was here today. He must have fled. Oh no, he may have murdered Hyde. Ah, we must be careful.
Why don't you just read the letter?
Because I'm afraid. I hope there's no reason to be scared.
Dear Utterson, if you are reading this letter, I shall have disappeared. I assure you that this is my end. Go ahead and read the letter that Lanyon warned me he was going to give you. If you care to learn more, you can read my confession, which enclosed. Your worthy and unhappy friend, Henry Jekyll.